They said he'd never escape the shadow. They said he'd always be the supporting act, the muscle, the loyal soldier who takes the pins while others hold the gold. But last night at Saturday night's main event, GUSO didn't just prove the doubters wrong, he shattered every single expectation, every limitation, every ceiling that's been placed over his head for over a decade. And the most shocking part? The man who helped him do it was the same man who held him down, manipulated him, and broke his spirit for years. Roman Reigns just helped GUSO become world champion, and if you think you understand what this means, you don't. Not yet. Because what happened last night doesn't just change G's career, it rewrites the entire Bloodline saga, flips CM Punk's momentum on its head, and sets up the most explosive storyline WWE has seen in years. And if you click away right now, you're going to miss the critical details that explain why this moment is so much bigger than just a title change. Before we break down every twist, every emotion, and every ramification of this historic night, do me a favor, and I'm asking this from one wrestling fan to another, hit that subscribe button. Not because I'm begging for numbers, but because you deserve to be part of a community that actually understands this business, that respects the storytelling, and that doesn't just react to moments but truly analyzes them. We're building something special here at Ring Rumble, and every single one of you matters in making this the premier destination for real wrestling analysis. Now, let's get into the chaos. The match itself was everything you'd expect from these two warriors. CM Punk came out with that same chip on his shoulder he's carried since returning to WWE, that same intensity that makes him one of the most captivating performers in the industry. He's been on a mission to prove that his comeback isn't just about nostalgia, that he's not some part-timer collecting checks, but a legitimate main event player who can still go toe-to-toe with the absolute best. And GUSO? This man has been clawing, scratching, and fighting for respect ever since he finally broke free from Roman's control. He's had the crowd behind him, he's had the momentum, but that one piece was missing: championship gold as a singles competitor. The world title has eluded him, dangled just out of reach like a cruel reminder that maybe, just maybe, he really was only meant to be a tag team specialist. From the opening bell, you could feel the intensity radiating through your screen. Punk worked G's arm early, targeting it with that methodical precision he's famous for, setting up for the anaconda vice that's put away so many competitors. But G fought back with the fire of a man who knew this might be his last shot, his defining moment. Every superkick had bad intentions behind it. Every suicide dive wasn't just a high spot, it was a statement. He wasn't going to let this opportunity slip through his fingers. Not this time. Not when he spent years proving he's more than just Roman's right-hand man, more than just Jimmy's twin brother, more than just another member of the legendary Anoa'i family tree. The near falls were absolutely insane. Punk hit the GTS out of nowhere, and the entire arena thought it was over. 2G's shoulder shot up at 2.9, and the disbelief on Punk's face told the entire story. He couldn't believe it. The commentators couldn't believe it. We couldn't believe it. G hit a massive USO splash from the top rope, and Punk somehow, someway kicked out. Back and forth they went, trading finishers, trading hope spots, each man refusing to stay down. This wasn't just a wrestling match, this was two men putting their entire souls on display, fighting for validation, for legacy, for that one moment that defines a career. And then everything changed. The referee was down. We've seen it 1,000 times, right? The ref bump that signals chaos is coming. But when you saw that figure emerge from the crowd, when you saw the tribal chief himself, Roman Reigns, step over the barricade with that calculated look in his eyes, the entire dynamic shifted. The arena erupted, half in shock, half in absolute fury. What was he doing here? Why now? Roman and G have been on separate paths. They've had their moments of tension, their complicated history playing out in subtle glances and unspoken words, but they've been apart. G has been doing his own thing, building his own legacy, deliberately distancing himself from the toxicity of the bloodline. But Roman didn't come out to talk. He came out to act. CM Punk, seeing Roman, immediately got in his face. You could see Punk yelling at him, telling him to stay out of it, to let them finish this the right way. And for a moment, just a brief moment, it looked like Roman might actually respect that. He raised his hands, backed up slightly, and Punk turned his attention back to G, looking to put him away once and for all. That's when Roman struck. Superman punch out of nowhere. Punk crumpled, and before anyone could process what just happened, Roman was sliding out of the ring, disappearing back into the crowd as quickly as he appeared, leaving no evidence, no trace except for CM Punk laid out in the center of the ring. The referee recovered. GUSO, barely conscious himself, draped an arm over Punk. 1, 2, 3. New world champion. The confetti fell. The music hit. GUSO held championship gold as a singles competitor for the first time in his career, and the emotions on his face were everything: joy, disbelief, confusion, and something else, something darker. Because he knew how he won. He knew who helped him. And as he clutched that title, you could see the internal conflict playing out in real time. Now let's talk about what this actually means, because if you think this is just a simple story of Roman helping his cousin, you're missing the layers. Drop a comment right now with your theory on what Roman's endgame is, because I guarantee we're all going to look back at this moment in 6 months and realize we missed something crucial. Let's hear your takes, your predictions, your reactions. The comments section is where the real discussion happens, and your voice matters in breaking this down. First, CM Punk. This man has been absolutely screwed, and the way WWE is going to handle his reaction will be pivotal. Punk doesn't just lose matches, he wages wars over injustices. His entire character is built on speaking truth to power, on calling out corruption and demanding what he's earned. He had G beaten. He knows it. Everyone knows it. And now he's going to want answers, retribution, and most likely, a rematch where the bloodline can't interfere. But here's the wrinkle: does this pull Roman Reigns back into the main event title picture? Does Punk now have to go through the tribal chief to get to G? Because if that's the direction, we're looking at a potential triple threat situation that could main event WrestleMania. Second, GUSO himself. This is the most fascinating psychological element of the entire situation. G spent years under Roman's thumb, doing his bidding, taking the blame, absorbing the punishment, all while being told it was for his own good, for the family, for the bloodline. He finally broke free. He finally stood up for himself and carved out his own identity. And now, in his greatest moment of triumph, he's once again indebted to Roman. He won the title, yes, but he won it with Roman's help. Does that taint the victory in his own mind? Can he truly celebrate this championship knowing that without Roman's interference, he might have lost? The look on his face after the match told us everything. This isn't a clean celebration. This is complicated. This is messy. And that's what makes it absolutely brilliant storytelling. Third, Roman Reigns' motivation. Why did he do it? Is this genuine brotherly love, Roman wanting to see his cousin succeed even if they're on different paths? Is this manipulation, Roman putting G in his debt so he can cash in that favor later? Is this about Roman inserting himself back into the title picture by making G's reign dependent on him? Or is there something bigger at play? Is Roman rebuilding the bloodline piece by piece, starting with G, using the championship as the ultimate leverage? Think about it. G now holds the world title. If Roman can get in his ear, convince him that they're stronger together, that the bloodline needs to reunite with G at the top of the mountain this time, we could be looking at the most powerful faction in WWE history reforming with a completely different power structure. The implications for the entire main event scene are staggering. You've got Cody Rhodes presumably still involved in championship conversations. You've got CM Punk now with a legitimate grievance and a score to settle. You've got Roman Reigns hovering like a puppet master, pulling strings we can't even see yet. You've got Solo Sikoa and his version of the bloodline potentially viewing G's win as a threat or an opportunity. The entire landscape just shifted underneath our feet, and every single storyline is now interconnected in ways they weren't before. And let's be real about something else: the crowd is going to be split on G moving forward. There's going to be a portion of the audience that says he didn't earn this, that his championship reign is illegitimate because of Roman's interference. There's going to be another portion that argues he's been earning it for years, putting in the work, and one moment of help doesn't erase all of that. That tension, that debate, that's what creates compelling television. That's what gets people emotionally invested. Because there's no clear right answer here. It's complicated. It's nuanced. It's real. If you're not already obsessed with where the storyline is heading, hit that like button right now, because we're just getting started breaking this down. Share this video with every wrestling fan you know who's trying to process what just happened. They need to see this analysis. They need to understand the depths of what WWE just set in motion. Saturday night's main event used to be a special showcase, a big deal event that created memorable moments. And WWE just reminded everyone why that brand matters. They didn't just put on a great match, they created a moment that will be referenced for years. They created a turning point that shifts multiple storylines simultaneously. They created controversy, emotion, and anticipation for what comes next. That's the art form at its highest level. GUSO is the world champion. Those words felt impossible just a few years ago when he was laying down for Roman repeatedly, when he was being emotionally abused on television, when he was the sympathetic figure we all felt sorry for. Now he's on top of the mountain, but the mountain is surrounded by landmines, and one wrong step could bring everything crashing down. His first title defense is going to be absolutely critical. Who does he face? How does he address the Roman situation? Does he embrace the help or reject it? Does he thank Roman or confront him? The beauty of professional wrestling, when it's done right, is that it mirrors real life's complexity. People aren't purely good or purely evil. Relationships aren't simple. Victories can be bittersweet. And family, especially family like the Anoa'i dynasty, is the most complicated factor of all. Blood doesn't always mean loyalty. Love doesn't always mean support. And sometimes the people who hurt you most are the ones who claim they're helping you. GUSO is world champion. He achieved his dream. But at what cost? And what comes next might be even more explosive than what we just witnessed. CM Punk is coming for revenge. Roman Reigns is lurking in the shadows with motives we don't fully understand. The Bloodline saga, which we thought was winding down, just got a massive shot of adrenaline, and we're all here for every single second of it. Stay locked into Ring Rumble for continued coverage, analysis, and breakdowns of every twist and turn in this story. This is history. This is chaos. This is professional wrestling at its absolute finest. And we're just getting started.